Clock News starts right now.
Anti-abortion groups are suing the city of San Antonio over its so-called reproductive justice fund.
Though the city hasn't determined how the $500,000 set aside in its annual budget will be used, abortion advocates and some council members have said it could help with travel costs for women seeking legal out-of-state abortions.
But the San Antonio Family Association and Texas Right to Life say that's too far, and they've asked the courts to step in. City Hall reporter Garrett Berger has the story.
In a lawsuit filed early Tuesday, abortion opponents said they want to keep the city of San Antonio from providing taxpayer money to groups that pay for abortion travel or procure elective abortions for Texans. It all stems from a $500,000 fund included in the city budget, dubbed the Reproductive Justice Fund by supporters.
It's something that we're really passionate about here at JDP, and our partners are passionate about.
Groups like Jane's Due Process help women seeking out-of-state abortions cover the costs. But its executive director says there are other services the city fund could help cover, like prenatal support or birth control.
And the travel piece is important and essential. And also, there are other things that folks with uteruses need reproductive funds for.
So far, the city hasn't nailed down specific uses, though at least some council members have indicated support for using it to cover travel costs.
It's a pretty clear attempt by my colleagues to fund these out-of-state abortions.
Northeast Side Councilman Mark White was the loudest opponent to the fund during the city budget process last month and was unsurprised to see it spark a lawsuit.
This shouldn't be about my belief on abortion or anyone's belief on abortion. This is about what the role of city government should and shouldn't be.
In an emailed statement, San Antonio's city attorney said the suit was based on misinformation and false allegations. The facts are that a decision has not been made on how that money will be used, he said. The city council will have an open work session to discuss the use of the funds that will be managed by the city's Metro Health Department. The funds will be distributed in accordance with state and federal laws. It's not clear yet when the city council will actually discuss how to use those funds. The city manager originally indicated it could be sometime this fall, but a city spokeswoman today was unable to confirm whether that is still the plan. Live in the newsroom, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News. Steve, Myra.
All right, thanks, Garrett. Let's take a look at a big slow spot out there on the roads this hour. 281 at Loop 410. A lot of glare in these windshields as they're headed westbound, and you can see traffic both on the upper ramps merging onto 410 below at a crawl at best. A typical slow spot during this 6 o'clock commute.
Yeah, and you know, I think my friend Adam Caskey would say, just roll down the windows, enjoy the weather.
Enjoy it.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, you're going to be out there for a while in that traffic.
We can now, and we finally can roll the windows down. Actually, this morning, 47 degrees for the low. That was the coldest temperature we have had in San Antonio in 211 days. We have to go all the way back to March to be that cool. So yeah, roll down the windows, enjoy it. Kerrville dropped down to 37, Fredericksburg down to 39 earlier today. Some upper 30s in the hill country. Elsewhere, we were largely in the 40s. By the afternoon, we made well into the 70s, 77 here in town. Uvalde, a high temperature of 78. Temperatures will be rising. We'll talk about that along with our next chance of rain and what it hinges on in just a bit.
Thank you, Adam. It is a story that's left a neighborhood in shock. A man allegedly decapitated by his own son. Today, we talked to that man's stepson about how he believes mental health played a role in this gruesome crime and what he thinks could have been done to help prevent it. Our Jonathan Cotto with the exclusive story.
He just wanted the best for everyone and in the family and for me.
Adam Nopick remembering his stepdad, the man he says raised him. 65-year-old Keith Dimmick was found brutally murdered. Police believe by the hands of his own son, 35-year-old Bradley Dimmick.
He never texts back, so I gave him a call 3 times and he didn't answer. And so I gave the house phone a call and no one answered.
Nopick says his brother battled with a schizoaffective disorder, over time presenting several alarming red flags, including attempting to kill his mother.
He got put into the mental state hospital and after that, after 10 years go by or 8 years, they released him. And they shouldn't have.
Nopick says Bradley was released by the state hospital to their father, a release that wasn't followed up by any checkups according to Nopik.
The messed up part for the state hospital, they could have did a welfare check to check on him to make sure if he's taking his meds, or why he didn't go to any appointments, or why he didn't try to get his food stamps, or just anything.
Now Nopik wants justice for his father and mental health disorders to be taken seriously.
Tell the world or the city to let people know that they need to do more checks on people like my brother, and this could have been avoided.
Nopik, who says he is seeking legal counsel, now wants at least one of two things.
I know Texas does lethal injection, but if not, then he should stay in prison for the rest of his life, where I could actually visit him and just a reminder of every day of what he did to his dad and my dad, actually.
Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Now, we did reach out to the San Antonio State Hospital for more information on Dimmick's diagnosis, treatment, and discharge. A spokesperson says they are working on our request.
People living in one Southside neighborhood say a recent crash that nearly sent a car into a house points out a major recurring problem there: speeding. Police say a 15-year-old unlicensed driver caused a crash on Creeth Place Sunday, sending 6 people to the hospital.
Yeah, that driver hit a pole, ended up inches away from a woman's home. Police say they gave the teen a ticket for driving without a license. A neighbor who heard the crash says she wasn't surprised it happened.
There's just a lot of cars that will speed down the streets and they don't pay attention to the yields or the stop signs.
The city says the last time it did a traffic study in the area was a decade ago. Councilwoman Phyllis Villagran says her office is looking into the possibility of doing another traffic study.
From nurse to patient, a university hospital director completed her last chemo treatment today for her metastatic breast cancer. She tells our Courtney Friedman she caught it in between her yearly screenings. She wants to show women who have skipped those screenings what they're risking.
23 treatments, and then right after that I'd go to work.
Sean Velez conquered life head-on as a metastatic breast cancer patient and the ambulatory care director for University Health.
Yes, I've worked through this whole process, but there have been days where it's just, I didn't know if I could do it.
Today, she checked in for her last chemo treatment.
My family, I've got a lot to celebrate with them.
She found the lump in her breast March of 2022, and since then has undergone chemo, a mastectomy, and radiation.
They even got that picture of me getting my port placed.
Wow. This is when it was placed?
This was when it was placed.
She has no family history, does her mammograms every year, and found the tumor by a self-exam in the shower. She knows being proactive saved her life, but she also knows many women skipped screenings during the pandemic.
We want to catch cancer small before the patient can feel it.
Dr. Sarah Ortiz is the interim medical director of mammography for University Health. She says transparency with the process can usually quell some fears.
If I were getting a mammogram today, I would be in here with one tech?
Yes.
Okay.
Gently, the tech will compress your breast and the machine will take pictures.
How long does the process take?
A couple of seconds.
A short time commitment that can save your life.
So here's a patient that came from her screening mammogram, and you can see that little mass. I'm able to circle it, to measure it, to know the exact location and the size.
As Velez works her way towards remission, she's also on a different mission.
Everybody knows I'm like, you need to check, especially those with a high family history.
Because time spent doing this means years longer doing this. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
The age for women who need mammograms has been dropped to the age of 40, but if you have risk factors or a family history of breast cancer, that age drops even lower. Make sure you talk to your doctor about when you should start getting yours, and be on the lookout for mobile mammogram units and free scan programs.
Get those screenings. The San Antonio Airport has its sights set on improvements. Part of that is adding new flights, and starting in the spring, Spirit Airlines will start flying travelers to and from Newark Liberty International Airport in New Jersey. Newark, one of 3 main airports in the New York City area. Spirit has flown travelers to and from San Antonio for about a year now. They're going to add this new direct flight starting in April. And yes, the flights will be departing daily.
A dog whose owner police say allowed him to attack a man last month has now been euthanized. Animal Care Services confirmed the dog was put down Monday. This is just one of several dog attacks that KSAT has covered in recent months. This one happened September 21st when SAPD says Marcus Davila, quote, intentionally allowed his large dog to attack the victim. That victim suffered serious injuries that required multiple surgeries. Davila is now facing charges. In 2021, a Bexar County Sheriff's deputy not only lost his job, but was charged for official oppression for an alleged illegal search.
That former deputy, Joel Chavez, is now on trial in this case. Erica Hernandez takes us inside the courtroom as video was shown of what happened during that traffic stop in question.
Did he have probable cause or not? That is the big question that is trying to be determined in the trial of Joel Chavez. Chavez in 2019 pulled over Joel Fernandez off TPC Parkway. During the traffic stop, Chavez, a Bexar County Sheriff deputy at the time, claimed in his report that a metal tray with white residue was visible. But Fernandez's in-car video system showed a different account of what happened. Fernandez asked Chavez why he was being stopped. You could hear Chavez say for reckless driving, as he was allegedly going more than 40 miles per hour over the speed limit. You then see Chavez enter the vehicle and eventually open a glove box where the metal tray was actually at. Because of the apparent inaccuracies in his report, Chavez was fired and charged with official oppression. His defense attorneys questioning Deputy Juan Thayes, who was later at the scene to assist Chavez, and asked about having probable cause.
You are searching a vehicle if you see what you believe to be cocaine residue on the seat or the center console or in the door areas, driver's side door areas. In your mind, would you have probable cause to search at that point? Correct.
The state countered, saying that the report Chavez wrote still told a different story than what happened.
Because there are no body-worn cameras, why is it important that your reports are accurate?
Because your words, what's going to depend on what happens to the individual.
In this case, Fernandez was arrested because of that search. So this is a Class A misdemeanor case, which means that if Chavez is found guilty, the punishment range would be up to a year in county jail and a fine. At the Kidder Reeves Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
University Health helping kids whose families couldn't otherwise afford it overcome major medical problems. How the effort is reaching children across the world. Next on the News at 6.
Welcome back. I'm Stefania Jimenez, and this is what we're working on for you tonight on The Night Beat. They're sacred pieces of San Antonio's history, but recently vandals have been targeting them. Tonight, the push from city leaders to protect San Antonio's missions. Plus, this is really a citywide problem that may actually be worse than you think. Vacant building fires all across San Antonio. Tonight, KSAT Investigates explores where those buildings are and also what leaders are doing to prevent them from burning. We'll see you for these stories and a lot more tonight on The Night Beat.
Thank you, Stephanie. University Health collaborating with 2 organizations to help families around the world. Each organization, Heart Gift and Fresh Start, wants to help children overcome major medical issues. As Max Massey shows us, the 2 groups work together to help a little boy from Honduras brought to San Antonio to undergo life-changing heart surgery at no expense to his family.
It's been a blessing that God has given me.
Meet the Cardona family. They're from Honduras, they only speak Spanish, and they were brought here to San Antonio so that Angel could undergo heart surgery.
Angel came with a very large hole in the top chambers of his heart, which are the atrium. And so if we hadn't closed that surgically, his life would have been shorter by a few decades.
The surgery was part of the Heart Gift program.
Heart Gift is a nationwide organization, and we are, I believe, the 2nd chapter in Texas.
But when Angel was getting evaluated, the doctors discovered something else.
Angel has a congenital, condition that needed to be addressed via surgery.
That's when the Fresh Start program stepped in.
Everybody who comes in, nurses, techs, scrub techs, the surgeons, anesthesia, everybody's donating their time. Okay, so nobody's getting paid for this, and nothing is charged to the families.
As you can see right now, Angel looks happy and healthy, so much energy, and it really is a testament to both of these programs aiming to help so many families.
We have great donors here in the United States that want to fundraise for these children. And so they fundraise and they bring a parent and the child here. And then we have a host family that supports them. And then between University Health supporting us to provide the fees for the services for free to these children, we can then give them life-saving heart surgery.
Angel will have to come back again next year for another minor surgery, but right now he is doing great.
He has been doing very well. He's been doing perfect.
Max Massey, KSAT 12 News.
All right, let's talk about this weather. Just puts you in a good mood, right?
Absolutely.
On my way to work, that's what I was thinking today. It's positive.
Caught in a traffic jam, roll down the window. Enjoy the weather.
Go get caught in a traffic jam, just so you can roll down the window.
Let me sit there for a while.
Let's maybe pump the brakes on that.
I don't know. I'm open to it.
Literally, let's pump the brakes.
I'm open to the idea. It's just the principle that we can do that around here. Another cool morning tomorrow. Then we're going to warm up. 90s will be here by Friday. So temperatures will be on the upswing, but a shot at rain is on the way as we've been seeing some development in the Pacific Ocean. And that's what I want to start with. It's not until this time next week, but there is hope for some rain. Right now we have it at 30%. I do think there's a shot at it really getting higher. We just need every little element to come together perfectly. What I'm talking about here is we have the surface high overhead. That means we're high and dry, a lot of sunshine, and our winds have shifted southerly a little bit, and that'll slowly warm us up. But what we're watching now, what has recently come together, is Tropical Storm Norma here in the Pacific. This is just off the coast of Mexico. Weak system right now, but it will be strengthening into a hurricane slowly as it heads northward this week toward Cabo San Lucas by Sunday midday. At that point, likely a Category 2 hurricane with winds of 100 miles per hour. Now, the leftovers of this should get pushed over Mexico, then up into Texas. That would be a good thing for rainfall. The big question is, where exactly do those remnants get pushed? Is it going to be more West Texas and New Mexico, or right here in South Central Texas? The steering flow is really just perfect for a funnel for energy and moisture to get pushed from the Pacific here into Texas. And I do think even if Norma's leftovers and Norma's energy doesn't really pan out for a lot of rain for us, I do think we'll be in a pattern next week where we'll at least have more opportunities. So that's the nice thing. Big question here is exactly where does that energy go? We'll keep you updated. Stay tuned for the latest because there is some hope for some good rainfall with that. We just need more time. 76 right now, dew point of 40. Dewies are down, 30s to near 40 degrees. It's refreshing. That allows you to get stuck in traffic and roll down the windows because we don't have the humidity, and that allows temperatures to fall off quickly at night and then warm up efficiently in the afternoon. Dew points will stay comfortable until we get into next Monday. That's when they're back into the 60s, and you'll notice the mugginess. Temperatures right now, 70s, a beautiful evening, but keep in mind, temperatures will fall off quickly around and after sunset, so if you have outdoor plans, it wouldn't hurt to throw that sweatshirt in the bag or over the shoulder, whatever. Have it with you just in case. We'll be in the 70s now, but 60s very quickly after sunset. And tomorrow morning, we start the day right near 50. By the afternoon, up to 83 with a lot of sunshine. So near 50 in the morning, lower 80s by the afternoon, and then it's back to 90s by Friday. Notice those morning temperatures back to average near 60 on Thursday.
All right. Thank you, Adam.
All right. Mary Rominger back from L.A. where she was late last night. Caught the early morning flight?
The early morning, yep.
Yeah, and you kind of get the idea that maybe the Cowboys are breathing a sigh of relief more than celebrating last night's win.
Big time, yeah. The situation, the narrative would have been pretty rough today and for the next 2 weeks because they're on their bye. And really last night's Monday Night Football game came down to the Dallas defense, and they answered the call. Plus, the Spurs are in the final stretch of their preseason schedule, and the pieces are coming together.
First sack of the night, Herbert
Gets rid of it, and he's picked. Intercepted by the Cowboys.
Dallas's defense came through in the clutch last night to help the Cowboys improve to 10-1 following losses. It's time for Big Board Sports.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
SoFi Stadium, more like Arlington West. Dallas Cowboy fans made it feel like a road game for the Chargers, and they were rewarded with a 20-17 win. It wasn't the most exciting game, but it had big moments, and getting back in the win column heading into Week 7 was crucial for Dallas. Here's Sports Director Larry Ramirez with more.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mary. So after the Cowboys beat the Chargers last night, head coach Mike McCarthy said it was a good win. It was a good road win, and now it's time to reboot, and it's always better going into the bye week off of a victory. Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott feels the same way.
Yeah, huge to go in the bye week with momentum. I just said it to somebody in the locker room. I said, now I can enjoy the bye week. That's what it's about. Is 4-2, a little over a quarter of the season puts us right where we want to be. Got this big win on the road, can build off of this one, give us confidence coming out of the bye week to continue to stack and just get better as a team and chase every goal that we have in front of us.
When asked if this was a must-win, Dak said, yes, there's a big difference between 4-2 and 3-3. Mary, back to you.
I agree with it being a must-win because after the Week 7 bye, Dallas's next two matchups are the 3-3 Rams, then the 5-1 Eagles in Philly. Game 2 of the American League Championship Series saw fireworks from the first inning. The Rangers brought home 4 runs in the first frame, and starting pitcher Nathan Eovaldi struck out 9 Astros batters in 6 innings of work. This team is red hot, still undefeated in the postseason with 7 straight wins. The record is 8 wins, which hasn't been done since the Kansas City Royals did it back in 2014. Game 3 is tomorrow night in Arlington. First pitch is at 7 p.m. All right, Spurs veteran center Zach Collins was the bright spot in San Antonio's third preseason game, while a handful of Spurs starters had the night off. In the 99-89 loss to the Rockets, Collins dropped 18 points along with 8 rebounds and 5 assists, and he knows how dominant he and Wemby can be this season when they're on the floor together.
Yeah, we want to make it work. You know, we have to be able to complement each other on the court, and inside and out is going to be big. The way he can finish inside, and once he gets under the rim, I mean, and he keeps the ball high, no one's going to be able to touch him or block the shot. And then me, you know, hopefully I can continue to make shots, and that's going to open up everything for him down there too, and vice versa. So yeah, man, I think it could be a match made in heaven if we keep working at it.
Good stuff. All right, the Spurs and Rockets rematch on Wednesday, and Victor Wembanyama, Trey Jones, and Devin Vassell are expected to play. Should be a fun one.
Back-to-back games against Houston here.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a little bit of a rivalry will form. I feel it this season.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Thanks, Mary.
We'll be right back.